All right. Hello, hello, everyone. Happy New Year. As I said in my newsletter, we get 3 chances within just a couple of months this year. It's just worked out that we had January 1st, February 1st, and then Losar, I think, is March 3rd, I want to say. So, yeah, this is a really good thing. Why? Because we're sentient beings. We procrastinate. We want to make things new. Actually, we get a new moon every month. So that is also really good. Every new moon, whatever new thing you want to do, then start then, and then watch your energy increase for the next 2 weeks till the full moon. That's really one of our awesome Vajrayana techniques. We talked recently about accumulating great karma, and that is one way to do that. All right, so we're starting out a new series today. I'm so excited. Oh, I need to take a picture of everybody because I need to get my roster caught up to date. Nice smiles, thank you very much. And I am going to try to put these on the website. I'm working on it. I'm making progress every day. Today, I can't even believe it, but I think I may have actually recaptured my domain name after all these months of working and working away at it. I just decided not to give up, and just to be like, just to keep calling until I got somebody who could help me. And I finally found that person. One Christopher Smith. I have no idea where he is, but he speaks really good English and he can help me. And I think I'm going to pull it off. So with that little obstacle out of the way, I'm going to be able to do more things and move on to other technical things. So that's what's going on in my technical universe. It has an effect, kind of, you know, when our computer world isn't working, it's just one of those obstacles that can get us down. And so we're going to be looking at things like that in this series. Why? Because it's the 7-branch method, or the 7 branches of accumulating merit. You might also hear it called. Or you might hear it called the 7-branch offerings. It's something that is mentioned very briefly in every sadhana that we practice. And I want to start out by giving you the context there. So I'm going to be referring again to the KLZ, and we just spent time, right? We just spent time with the first part of the KLZ. The first part is 6 chapters, the 6 outer preliminaries. So that much we know. Now we're moving on to the second part. The inner preliminaries is where you find this teaching, although it's super basic. Anybody can listen to this teaching and get something out of it. But to give you the context of where it lives in our root text, it's in the Guru Yoga section. So I spoke about Guru Yoga very recently. I think a lot of you were here for that teaching. And I want to just start with this because it really makes sense. It's in, so chapter 6, part 2.2, Roman numeral 2.2. And what they say is the Vajrayana path has many methods, right? So we're talking about the 7-branch methods. We're going to be talking about 7 methods of what? Accumulating merit. So this is all part of our Vajrayana path. And the Vajrayana path has many methods. And these are meant for people with sharp minds. Okay. These are not just mindless, brainless, kind of easy to do activities. No, we need to really engage our thinking to do these practices. So Vajrayana is designed that way. We're meant to leverage all of the power of our present moment thinking right from the get-go. And that's why it's not boring. That's why it's really interesting and why it's swift, because you have to have the mental capacity for it. And so it says here, if you practice constantly with great mental power, the amount of merit that a Vajrayana practitioner or a follower of the Paramita Yanas accumulates in a great kalpa is here accumulated in a fraction of a moment and can liberate oneself in a single lifetime or so. What that all means is that you can practice in one of the lower yanas for a kalpa is a really, really, really long frame of time. It's like eons and eons and eons, okay? Many, many millions of lifetimes. So you can either practice that way to accumulate enough merit to become Buddha, or you can use these methods and do it in one lifetime. Yeah, that is big. So, so that right away piques my curiosity. It's like, I wonder what that's all about. I want to find out more about that. Because of this, it is also because of this, and also because the unique secret doctrine regarding Vajraguru alone as the best and most excellent field for accumulating merit, the practice of the 7-branch offering has been attached to the Guru Yoga. So what that means is, because Guru Yoga is touted as this really super secret, fast way, even within Vajrayana, these methods are attached to that because these are that powerful. That's how powerful they are, these 7 methods. Now that sounds like, wow, we're going to really be learning some really like very, very cool stuff here, right? But there's not a single thing here that you haven't heard already. And that's the most amazing part. And I really want to rejoice because that shows us that our Vajra master is truly, truly bringing us along in Vajrayana right from the get-go, right from the very first pages of the Buddha path. We are engaging in these methods. So you're not missing out anything. You are not on the short bus at all. You are definitely in a place where we are maximally challenging ourselves. We are accumulating a lot of merit. And, oh, sorry, I just poured the wrong thing. I'm ready for tea. Yeah, we are doing really amazing practices. And not only that, I'm just giving you an overview in this 7-week series, giving you overview, context, that kind of thing. But you are already becoming experts at these practices because we do them within the Buddha path. That's my point. So maybe you've been practicing prostrations or offering. I'm going to give you more of the reasons why you're doing that, what these practices mean. What is the samadhi behind the mantra and the mudra? And we can go in whatever direction you want. So have your questions, make sure you have your questions available, and raise your little electronic hand if you have a question, and you'll come up to the top of my screen so I won't miss your question. Or unmute and just say, I have a question. Okay, so the 7-branch method, I'm going to give you the list first so you can know what we're going to be looking at this next 7 weeks. The first one is prostration. The second is offering. Then purification, rejoicing, requesting teachings, long life prayer, and dedication. And a really good idea to memorize this list and just know this. And you can memorize it by using the acronym POPRLD, POPRRLD, POPRLD. And I'll see if I can find an example of where they're listed in the, let's see, where would they be listed in the Buddha Path? The concise edition. Let me just double check. Well, I'll do that for next time. We'll just start right in. If I have time, I'll show you where. Yeah, Terry, did you want me to repeat that, Liz? Yeah. Prostration, offering, purification, rejoicing, requesting teachings, long life prayer, and dedication. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about, remember, this is the 7-branch method for accumulating merit. Merit has 4 qualities. Merit does 4 things, basically. So you should know this. First, you should know that merit is a synonym for positive karma. Positive karma and merit are exactly the same thing. Same. And the qualities that merit has, number 1, it pacifies negative thinking. It pacifies negative thinking. Number 2, it deletes negative karma. So positive karma pacifies negative thinking and deletes negative karma. Third, it decreases suffering by destroying the cause of suffering. Obviously, if you pull the noxious weed out by the roots, it's not going to grow back. Same idea here. And then 4, it awakens natural wisdom. Now remember, what are we trying to accumulate on the way to Buddha? 2 things. Can anybody tell me what we're trying to accumulate? Go ahead, Jed.
Merit and wisdom.
Yeah, exactly. So merit is going to help us accumulate the wisdom as well. So we really focus on accumulating merit. We don't have to focus so much on accumulating merit, wisdom rather, but our practices do that as well. Okay, so we use these 7 methods to do that, to accumulate merit that has these amazing qualities. And the very first practice that we're going to do is prostration. Okay, so what are prostrations? Prostrations are a really incredible, amazing practice, really incredible. We know prostrations as one of the things, the first things we do in the Buddha Path on page 30, when we do Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Guru Deva Dakini. That is the most basic form of a prostration that you can do. But there are other forms as well. You can do this obviously seated, at your desk. You can do it standing up. That would be something. It's something we do when the teacher enters the room. We do it when the teacher sits down, and then we prostrate, and then we proceed it. And you can do several kinds of prone prostrations on the floor or on the ground. You can do a half prostration where you end up in something like, it looks like a child's pose. Like you can do a kneeling prostration, and you can do a full length prostration where you actually glide yourself all out straight on the floor. And obviously we can't really show demonstrations of that so easily on Zoom, but that's something we would definitely cover at a 1-week retreat. And so hopefully you'll have a chance to do that sometime. Now, if you don't know how to do a full length prostration, a full prostration, that's okay. You can do the ones that we're used to doing on Zoom. That counts. That is totally great. You don't have to think one is lesser than the other. Why? Because it's our thinking that counts. What are we thinking when we're doing the prostration? Okay. So prostration literally means to get closer to draw near to touch. You're moving toward an object of value or something that you respect or something that you're attracted to. When we do Namo, we're saying, Rinpoche always says the best translation is, I want to hug that. I want to hug whatever it is I really value. And we do this a lot in our everyday life. There are a lot of things we want to get close to. Sometimes we want to get close to money or certain people or fame. Or sometimes we Namo praise from others, right? We want that. We want to get closer to that. And those are the things in our worldly life that we want to draw closer to us. For some people, it's food. Namo lasagna. Yeah, come to me. I want that. And so, but those aren't the very best things that we should want to be close to. The best, most auspicious, most useful, most beneficial things to be close to are the three jewels: Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. And so what we do is when we do Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and we also do Guru, Deva, Dakinya. Okay. And those are the things that are most valuable. Why? Because those are the things that draw us closer to happiness. Only those things. The other things, fame and wealth, praise, those things don't draw us closer to happiness. So there are some main benefits of prostrations. There are three main benefits of doing prostrations. One is that it reduces hot pride. Prostrations reduce hot pride. They are a direct antidote to hot pride or arrogance. Doing prostrations, when we prostrate to another being, also what it does, it decreases our waiting for respect from others. So we don't wait to get respect from others. We respect others. We give respect. We give what it is that we want. And we attract respect when we do that. Imagine what a world we'd live in if everybody Namo'd each other all the time. And, we see cultures where this happens. I think the Japanese culture comes to mind, where people are bowing, and there's a high level of respect in that culture. It's very different from American culture, where, people barely make eye contact, or where your waiter comes up to the table and says, "What do you want? What do you guys want?" Or whatever. There's just not a lot of respect there. So we can change that. We have the ability to work within our own culture to change that. And prostrations are one of those ways. The other thing that prostrations do is they increase our pure perception. They increase our pure perception. And so why? It's because what we're doing when we are doing prostrations is we are visualizing Buddha in front of us. That's what we're doing. Okay, so here's some of the incredible techniques of doing prostrations. And you can do prostrations as a practice. You can do prostrations as a practice. And you can do them in the privacy of your own home. You don't have to just limit to the ones that are done in the Buddha path. You can actually accumulate prostrations. You can accumulate all of these of the 7 branch methods. So we like to keep track of the practices that we do. So if prostrations is something that you really enjoy doing, you can, or if you feel like you have a problem with pride, especially hot pride, arrogance, you can do the practice of prostrations to begin to antidote that problem. So here's what you should think when you're doing a prostration. You can imagine your body multiplied hundreds of thousands of times, equal to the number of atoms of innumerable paradises of Buddhas. And you can think that all sentient beings equal to that same number are doing prostrations together with you. And then you can multiply your merit even more by doing that. So that is one of the incredible techniques that we can use when we're doing prostrations. So I multiply my own body and visualize myself multiplied 1,000,000 times doing the prostrations. And I visualize myself and all sentient beings doing my prostrations with me. Another thing you can do is you can visualize your father on your right and your mother on your left. You're prostrating to Buddha. And you can visualize your enemies in front of you and slightly below you, right? And you can visualize all sentient beings behind you. These kinds of visualizations while you're doing prostrations will greatly increase the merit that you're receiving from doing those prostrations. Yeah. And what it says in the Kunzang Lama's Jalem is that if your prostrations are done in conjunction with Guru Yoga, they will be perfect in every respect. So there are 3 aspects to doing a prostration because it's a physical action. That in itself is called mudra. So your mudra is very important. So you want to make a prayer, aspiration mudra is what it's called. And you stick your thumbs, tuck them in. So see how they're not sticking out like this, they're tucked in. And you place it right at your heart at about a 45-degree angle. And we touch our head, signifies body. You can put your thumbs right under your chin, speech, and then at your heart, mind, body, speech, mind. So we are offering our body, speech, and mind to the 3 jewels. So not only are we visualizing, so we have mantra, mudra, and samadhi. What we're doing for mantra is what we are saying, and that's Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Guru Deva Dakinya. What we are doing physically is our mudra, so that's what I just described. And the samadhi is this visualization of the Buddha field in front of us. We visualize Buddha. There's a very beautiful, complex visualization that you can do, but we don't have to go there today. We can leave that for another day. Really, just visualizing Buddha in front of you, or performing your prostrations in front of a tanka, like something like what I have behind me. If you have a tanka hanging where you're doing your practice in the morning, you can do it in front of the tanka. And if you don't, you can just you can just visualize Buddha in front of you. And then if we do the other visualization with our mother and our father, our enemies below us, in front of us, all sentient beings behind us, then that makes it very, very powerful. So what not to do? What we don't want to do is destroy the merit that we're trying to create. And that would be done by removing any one of those mantra, mudra, or samadhi. So let's talk about mantra. Just mumbling, namo, yeah, whatever, just not saying the correct mantra, or saying it distractedly, or mispronouncing or something like that, or mixing it up, saying namo dharmaya, namo buddhaya. No, that's wrong. Those are the wrong words. You can also destroy your merit by doing them physically in a sloppy way, right? So maybe you're like this, or you're just like this, or when we're doing standing and full prostrations, it's more of an issue, because there's a lot more technicality to the movement. It's like a yoga pose, if you've ever done yoga in a yoga studio. So for instance, one thing that people often do, and it can be viral, people can catch it from other people. They kind of just go like this, You see people just going like that. And that's not what we're doing. We're making 3 distinct movements. We want it to be straight. We do it. So we're not like this, not like this. We want to have nice straight. So we do them mindfully. We move our body in a way that is mindful and it's correct, and we've practiced. We say the right words, and then what we're thinking is the most important part. So we can do our prostrations in a very distracted way. We could be thinking about what's for dinner, or that vacation I'm about to go on, all the things I have to do, or oh, I wish you'd finish with this teaching because I got other things to do. You can have a lot of thoughts that are going on. Can we keep our mind focused on Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya? What are we saying there? I want to get close to Buddha. I want to be close to Dharma, my 5 positive thinking. I want to be close to Sangha. I respect Buddha. I respect Dharma. I respect Sangha. I respect all beings as Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. These are the thoughts we're having. And we're visualizing Buddha. We're visualizing all beings as much as we can, right? We're visualizing our mother. I have personally found the practice of doing prostrations, visualizing my father on my one side and my mother on the other side, is really, really powerful. Why? Because my parents aren't around anymore in their physical bodies that I knew them in. And when I do that, I can quickly bring my visualization alive. It makes me think, oh, now this is the time when I'm visualizing my parents and I'm visualizing Buddha. And it's one of the very kind things I can do for my parents. So these are excellent techniques to use. Okay, it says here, moreover, while doing prostrations, it is necessary that the 2 palms form a cavity inside so that they look like an opening lotus bud, right? So the reason we do this is that we want it to look like an opening lotus bud. So not like this. Pressing the 2 palms against each other without leaving any cavity in them, or only touching the tips of the fingers and not the base of the palms, is improper. So we're doing this, not this or this. No, we're doing this. This is the way we've been taught. That's how we're doing it. It says here, like the opening bud of a lotus, two hands cupped above the head, and with bodies numerous as cloud banks, prostrate to the Buddhas of the 10 directions. So that's a quote from the sutra. The sutra called Tarpa Chempo Chosu Gyapa. I don't know what that translates as. So the other thing is that we're not doing this from an undisciplined way, but the reason that prostrations subdue ego clinging and hot pride is because we're submitting to a certain form. We're saying, I'm going to do it this way as my teacher taught me. I'm not just making something up or being lazy so this, just the discipline of following the form correctly already demonstrates reverence, a reverence born in your heart. Okay, so systematically what we're doing here, we're also cleansing our body, speech, and mind. So another visualization that's very, very powerful is that you visualize you are cleansing your obscurations of body, your obscurations of speech, your obscurations of mind. You just visualize just sweeping away all of your obscurations. And what we do when we do a physical or a full prostration, we will stretch out on the floor, and we'll put down our right hand, left hand, right knee, left knee, and then head in that order. And when we do that, we're actually letting go of our anger, jealousy, and if you could see my knee, greed, pride, and ignorance. So as each of those 5 points touches the floor, we are just letting go of those 5 poisons, those obscurations, those negative thinkings. And that, my friends, is one of my favorite visualizations. Now, sometimes we can do prostrations as a form of purification. We're going to talk about purification in a couple more weeks. But please know that prostrations are an excellent form of purification, and that you can actually visualize that you are letting go of anger, jealousy, greed, pride, and ignorance. And I have personally found that doing prostrations, let's say if I have an upset, I get angry about something. Have you ever been so angry that you just, you want to do something, you want to yell, or you want to chew somebody out, or right? So you can just remove yourself, and you can actually do these prostrations and just tell yourself to let go anger, jealousy, greed, pride, and ignorance. Just let them go. It's a really, really great technique. And you will occasionally see the Holy Vajramaster assign prostrations to people who need a little purification. So maybe somebody did something that wasn't very respectful to another Sangha or something, or made a big mistake or something. That those kinds of things can easily be purified by doing some prostrations. So a classic purification method will be, oh yeah, do 100 prostrations, not all at once necessarily. So, and I would recommend, if you know how to do full prostrations, don't just do a bunch of them without checking in on your own physical condition, your physical health. These can be quite strenuous. It takes a lot of effort to get down on the floor, get up, get down on the floor, get up. If you've never seen a prostration, it looks a lot like a sun salutation done in yoga. So it looks something like that. Yeah. Just had to turn my computer off, or turn my do not disturb on. All right. So let's see here. What else can I tell you? Yeah, anger is the right hand, jealousy is the left hand, greed is the right knee, pride is the left knee, and your head is the ignorance. This is called bringing the 5 principal points of the body to the ground. The other thing is that you're not only purifying the defilements of anger, jealousy, greed, pride, and ignorance, you're also obtaining the blessings of body, speech, wisdom, qualities, and actions or activities. So it's body, speech, mind, qualities, and activities. Or yeah. So those 5 would be the positives that you're gaining while you are decreasing the negatives. So, and of course we say wisdom because you are imbuing the blessings of Buddha, and we say body, speech, mind when we're talking about sentient beings. But whenever we're talking about mind of Buddha, that's wisdom. That's the difference between mind and wisdom. So we want to have the qualities of the body, speech, and wisdom of Buddha, of the qualities and the activities of Buddha. Those are incredible qualities that we want. And so we can visualize receiving those as we're doing prostrations. Okay, here's some interesting stuff. As a consequence of performing crooked prostrations, it is said that one will have to suffer rebirth as a hunchback who walks crookedly. Since prostrations are done with the hope of attaining benefit, there is no point in prostrating in a way that will only cause one to obtain a defective body. So even if you can't do many prostrations, the ones you do, you should try to do them perfectly. So we actually do spend a fair bit of time in 1-week retreats, or we have in the past. It depends on what the teacher wants to focus on, but we had many retreats way back in the day with Rinpoche, where we spent many hours perfecting our prostrations and doing them correctly. For one thing, doing them incorrectly, you could hurt your body, and we don't want to do that. Remember, we're trying to accrue benefit, merit, right? This is the 7-branch method of accumulating merit, not the 7-branch method of harming yourself. So prostrations, because they're physical, you want to do them properly and mindfully. And there are many Dzogchen Buddha Path students, lamas, other teachers who can teach you how to do these exactly properly according to our lineage. And they talk about the lazy, wrong, aristocrat style of doing prostrations. I kind of showed you that one earlier, this kind of thing where you just go like this. But no, there's an actual method that we want to use. We don't want to just do a lazy style. So let's see here. Find what else. Victorious Buddha replied, by doing one prostration, the kingdoms ruled by the universal emperor will be enjoyed as many times as the number of atoms in the volume of earth covered by your body, down to where the universe touches its cosmic base of gold. But even then, its benefit will not be exhausted. So proper prostrations, that practice alone can be the ultimate cause of becoming Buddha. You can take any one of the 7-branch methods, and you can do that practice all the way to becoming Buddha. And you actually do see, has anybody ever been on a pilgrimage? So I've been to Bodh Gaya, and there's an incredible, that's where the Bodhi tree is. And there's an incredible shrine around it, a big complex with thousands of people milling around, and you will see pilgrims who have prostrated all the way there. Or you'll see Tibetans who prostrate many hundreds of miles they just go the whole way, prostrating from one to the next for miles and miles and miles. That is not what we're asking you to do, by the way. That's not what we're advocating here. But you can accumulate prostrations. You might decide you want to do 25 prostrations a day. That is a very good thing to do. That's a really wonderful practice. One of the practices that Rinpoche often recommends is that we do 25 prostrations before we go to bed at night. And so you should do 3 or 7 in the morning and 21 or 25 at night. It's a really good idea. If you do them, not just moving your body, but actually using the technique of visualization and actually pronouncing the mantras, you should get some results. You will get some results. Eventually, if you repeat it, you will get some results. I would be very interested to hear from anyone who has ever practiced prostrations and if they had any good result from that. So I know many people who have done it, and prostrations isn't my most favorite practice. Of course, I do them. But I know there are definitely practitioners who love to do prostrations, and they've really reported incredible benefits from doing them. And, you know, not only you can actually get physical benefits from them as well, because I can guarantee if you can do 25 prostrations, or if you can do 50 prostrations at a time, you're going to be in some pretty good shape. You know, your core muscles will get in very good shape. And so a lot of these practices have multiple practical results from them. And prostration is definitely one of those. I would say a really good method to lose weight. If you need to do that while you're practicing Dharma. I like this quote in the KLZ. It says, "Everything done is done by imitation. The best of the imitators is the expert." So prostrations is a really great example of how we imitate what our teacher shows us how to do, and we keep practicing it until we get skilled at it, and eventually we're doing those prostrations and we're feeling the reverence for Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. That is a really wonderful, thing. All right, let me stop here and we can ask questions. I'm going to switch over to gallery mode. And hello, Jacob. I don't think I know you. Sorry, I'm just noticing that you're here now. How did you find us?
It's my first time here. I came to 2 of the Intro to Buddhism sessions with Acharya Tim Ross.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and I came here for the 6 o'clock one. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to come to the one before because it said that
okay.
it required some prerequisite knowledge. So
yeah, that's okay. You're not gonna hear anything that is gonna hurt you here. But you may not understand it all. So if you stick around, I will gear this next part starting at 6 o'clock to everything you want to know. And I'm welcome.
Cool.
I'm really glad you're here.
Thanks.
All right. Are there questions, comments? Yes, Will. And then I'll go to Joanne.
Oh, thank you, Mama Carrie.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, in the last part you said you can become Buddha if you keep doing prostrations. Is it just for the full prostration, or this one would do also?
Well, think about it this way. For you, a young and fit person, I haven't met you in person, but I can see that you seem to be that way. To do anything other than a full prostration would probably be cheating. But some people may not be able to do full prostration. So for instance, I have a sore shoulder right now. I'm rehabilitating one of my shoulders, and it would not be a good idea for me to do full prostrations right now. But I can do a standing prostration just fine. And I can do the same visualization. I can do the same practice. I can have the same samadhi, and that is just perfectly fine. So to answer your question, it depends on your circumstance. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Joanne. Did we lose Joanne? I think she had a question.
Like you said, about 10 years ago when I went to the church, I was late to a class and she said,
Joanne, you're not coming through clearly, so maybe you can put your question in the chat, but we're not able to. Your audio is cutting out. Sorry.
Okay, can you hear me now? I just was going to say, like you said, I can't do the full prostrations anymore. So I'm thinking I like the idea of doing the visualization because I can do that, and that sounds really powerful. I really like that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, that is a really good thing to do. So, as always, please be very careful with your precious human body. And even if you are capable of doing full prostrations, don't attempt to do those without the instructions from one of the lamas or teachers. We all live kind of near, well, most of us hopefully live near a sangha that can teach us these things. And if not, you can do literally what we do seated here on the chair. You can do it standing, and that's perfectly acceptable. And then you do Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Guru Deva Dakinya, and then you can bow, and then you can do it again. You always start at your heart and end at your heart. That is one thing that you need to do. So you don't start here, you start here, and you end here. That's your home base, your heart. Remember, we're reminding ourselves that Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, Buddha lives right here in our heart, always. So we're really, when we say mind as a Buddhist, this is what we mean. We don't mean brain. We mean our mind lives right here. Okay, anything else? Yes, Torsten.
Yeah. So speaking of the heart is the perfect thing. So quote, where is the heart? Is it the midst of the body or is it the heart?
Good question. Okay, so we are talking about our karmic body is what we think of as our flesh body. And as we know, our heart is a little bit left of center, right? Yeah, so but when we visualize, there's a whole beautiful visualization that's done of our antidote body. It's called the antidote body, and it has channels and chakras, and you could call it your ethereal body or your whatever. But this is what we are visualizing once you have gotten that visualization from a teacher, once you've received that. And in that, the antidote body is much more symmetrical, and we visualize the heart center in the center of the chest, not over here. So that is a really good question. And so yes, when we do this, we're always visualizing Buddha right in the center, always in the center, not in our actual flesh heart. Yeah. Hello, Tanya. We're going to be starting the 6 o'clock class at 6 o'clock. So feel free to just hang out. Yeah, Will?
Do we always have to do like Namo Buddha, Namo Dhamma, and Namo Sangha? Or we could do like Namo Buddha, and prostrate?
No, you always do Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhamma, and Namo Sangha. And in our tradition, we do Namo Guru Deva Dakiniya, so it's 6. Yeah, and let me just quickly mention before we break here. Namo Guru Deva Dakiniya. Guru is the root of blessings. Deva is the root of of accomplishment, basically fruition. Dakini is the root of activity. Attainment, that's the word I'm looking for. So Guru is the root of blessings, Deva is the root of attainment, Dakini is the root of activity. Guru is our teacher, or you can think of Buddha. So all our blessings come from Buddha. Buddha can only be a condition. Buddha is not cause for us, only a condition, a really great condition. Deva is also known as a deity or yidam. You maybe have heard that word. That is the practice that we do. So whichever Buddha we pray to, that's how we're going to get our attainment. So that's why Deva is the root of attainment. And then Dakini, the feminine principle, that feminine energy, that is the root of activity in Buddhism. And that is far, far afield of this teaching tonight. I can't really teach you so much about Dakini. That is Tantra, and I'm not authorized to teach you Tantra on Zoom. All right, so let's dedicate our merit, and you're welcome to stay for the 6 o'clock hour. We're going to be talking about more fundamental Buddhist things. Or if you need to go, that is also fine too. And next week we'll do offerings, and that's hopefully I can do it in 1 week. If I can't, we'll do it in 2 weeks. Namo Buddhaya. For the true happiness of all beings, I will swiftly become Buddha in this very life. Therefore, just as all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas dedicate, I joyfully dedicate all merit for every being to attain unsurpassable enlightenment. May all my dedications be pure like the wisdom of Manjushri. May all my dedications be fulfilled like the aspirations of Samantabhadra. Jaya Jaya Jaya.
Thank you so much, Lama Carrie. Love you, love you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lama Carrie.
Thank you, Lama
Thank you,
Carrie.
Lama Carrie.
Lama Carrie.
Thanks for your teaching.
Lama Carrie, bye.
See you next week. Okay, if you're staying, we're going to just take a quick break, and we'll be back here at 6. So I'll just